Hello, Bold and the Beautiful fans! Get ready for what promises to be one of the most explosive and emotionally charged episodes of the year as Friday the 6th of February 2026 approaches. The beloved CBS soap opera is about to deliver a storyline that will have viewers on the edge of their seats, as forbidden romance takes center stage and threatens to unravel the fragile peace that has existed in recent months. A passionate encounter between two unlikely characters is set to ignite, and the fallout from this moment could reverberate through multiple families for weeks to come. Deacon's dangerous dilemma. At the heart of tomorrow's drama is Deacon Sharp, a man caught in an impossible situation that grows more complicated with each passing day. Deacon currently finds himself married to the infamous Sheila Carter, a woman whose notorious past continues to cast long shadows over everyone she encounters. However, beneath the surface of this marriage lies a truth that Deacon has been struggling to suppress. His heart belongs to someone else entirely. That someone is Dr. Taylor Hayes, the elegant and compassionate psychiatrist who has somehow managed to awaken feelings in Deacon that he thought were long buried. The complexity of Deacon's predicament cannot be overstated. When he reconciled with Sheila and committed to their marriage, he was already fully aware that his emotions were pulling him in Taylor's direction. Yet he made the choice to honor his commitment to Sheila, perhaps out of loyalty, perhaps out of fear, or perhaps out of a misguided sense of obligation. Now, as the days pass and his connection with Taylor deepens, that choice is becoming increasingly difficult to maintain. Every conversation with Taylor feels electric, every glance loaded with unspoken meaning, and every moment they share together reinforces what Deacon has been trying desperately to deny: the Sheila factor. The situation becomes even more precarious when considering Sheila's volatile history. Throughout her many years in the soap opera landscape, Sheila has demonstrated time and again that she does not handle betrayal well. In fact, not well might be a considerable understatement. When Sheila feels wronged, particularly in matters of the heart, her reactions have historically ranged from manipulative schemes to outright dangerous behavior. Her past is littered with victims who crossed her or threatened what she considered hers, and the consequences for those individuals were often severe. For the past several months, Sheila has been on what many characters describe as her best behavior. She's been reformed, stable, and seemingly committed to turning over a new leaf. However, astute observers understand that this transformation is directly tied to one crucial element: her relationship with Deacon. Deacon's love and acceptance have been the anchor keeping Sheila grounded and preventing her from reverting to her darker impulses. The question that haunts everyone who knows Sheila's history: is this what happens when that anchor is removed? If Sheila discovers that Deacon has been emotionally unfaithful, or worse, that he's fallen for another woman, will her reformation hold, or will the carefully constructed facade crumble, unleashing the Sheila Carter that everyone fears? This uncertainty creates a moral dilemma that extends beyond Deacon himself. On one level, keeping Sheila in the dark about Deacon's feelings seems fundamentally unfair and dishonest. She deserves to know the truth about her marriage and her husband's emotional state. However, on another level, there's a practical consideration at play. Given Sheila's history and the potential danger she poses when provoked, is honesty truly the best policy, or would revealing the truth create a situation far more dangerous for everyone involved? Friday's fateful moment. In tomorrow's episode, the tension that has been building between Deacon and Taylor will reach its breaking point. The two will find themselves spending even more time together, drawn to each other by a force that seems to override reason and caution. Despite all the risks involved, the threat of Sheila's wrath, the complicated family dynamics, the ultimatums that have been issued, Deacon and Taylor will make a pivotal decision. In a moment the viewers won't want to miss, these two characters will share a passionate, forbidden kiss that changes everything. This kiss represents more than just physical attraction or a momentary lapse in judgment. It's the culmination of weeks of growing emotional intimacy, of late-night conversations, of shared vulnerabilities and mutual understanding. For Deacon, it's an acknowledgement that he can no longer deny his true feelings. For Taylor, it's a surrender to emotions she may have been fighting to resist. The kiss will be tender yet urgent, sweet yet desperate, the kind of moment that soap opera fans live for. But as magical as this moment might be for the couple involved, the ramifications promise to be anything but romantic. Sheila's dangerous oblivion. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of this entire situation is that Sheila remains completely unaware of what's developing right under her nose. Current spoilers reveal that not only is Sheila not suspicious of Taylor, she actually views the psychiatrist as an ally. In a twist of dramatic irony, Sheila has credited Taylor with helping to save her marriage to Deacon. From Sheila's perspective, Taylor's professional guidance and friendship have been beneficial to both her and Deacon, strengthening their bond rather than threatening it. The reality, of course, is starkly different. While Sheila has been attempting to draw closer to Deacon and rekindle the passion in their marriage, she's been met with increasing emotional distance. Deacon has constructed what can only be described as an emotional wall between himself and his wife, keeping her at arm's length even as she tries to reconnect. The cruel irony is that every time Sheila reaches out to Deacon, every attempt she makes to understand what's troubling him, he deflects and retreats further. And where does he go when he needs someone to talk to straight to Taylor? This pattern cannot continue indefinitely. Sheila may not be suspicious now, but she's far from oblivious. Eventually the pieces will fall into place. She'll notice the way Deacon lights up when Taylor's name is mentioned, or the frequency with which he finds reasons to seek Taylor's counsel. She'll detect the subtle changes in his behavior, the emotional unavailability that coincides with his growing attachment to another woman. When that moment of realization comes, the fallout will be catastrophic. Steffy's desperate intervention. Adding another layer to this already complex situation is Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Taylor's daughter, who has been watching the development of her mother's relationship with Deacon with increasing alarm. Steffy isn't just concerned. She's in a state of absolute panic. Her fears aren't rooted in simple disapproval of her mother's romantic choices. They're based on a very real and terrifying possibility. If Sheila discovers what's happening between Taylor and Deacon, the entire Forrester family could once again become targets of Sheila's vengeance. Steffy has personal experience with Sheila's capacity for violence and manipulation. She knows firsthand what Sheila is capable of when she feels threatened or betrayed. The thought of her mother unknowingly provoking Sheila's wrath keeps Steffy awake at night. She's tried reasoning with Taylor, she's issued warnings, she's even made threats of her own in an attempt to make her mother see reason. Yet, despite Steffy's increasingly frantic pleas and desperate interventions, Taylor seems unable, or perhaps unwilling, to control herself around Deacon. The question now becomes, how far is Steffy willing to go to protect her family? She's already made threats about what she'll do if Taylor continues down this dangerous path. Will she be forced to follow through on those threats? Could Steffy take matters into her own hands to separate her mother from Deacon before it's too late? And if she does, will her actions actually prevent disaster, or will they accelerate it? Ridge's potential role. As this situation continues to escalate, there's another player who may soon be drawn into the drama, Ridge Forrester, Taylor's ex-husband and Steffy's father. It's entirely possible that Steffy, feeling desperate and out of options, will turn to Ridge for help. She may ask him to intervene to talk sense into Taylor, to use whatever influence he still has over his ex-wife to convince her to end this dangerous liaison with Deacon. However, even if Ridge agrees to help and does speak with Taylor, the likelihood of him succeeding seems slim. Taylor has demonstrated that she believes Deacon is something truly special, someone worth taking risks for despite the potential consequences. When a woman of Taylor's age and experience makes such a declaration, when she's willing to ignore her daughter's threats and pursue a relationship that could put her entire family in danger, it suggests that her feelings run incredibly deep. A conversation with Ridge, no matter how heartfelt or persuasive, may simply not be enough to change her course. The powder keg ready to explode. As Friday's episode approaches, all the elements are in place for a dramatic explosion. Deacon and Taylor are about to cross a line they can't uncross. Sheila remains dangerously unaware of the betrayal unfolding around her. Steffy is preparing for potential warfare. And somewhere in the background, the clock is ticking down to the inevitable moment when Sheila discovers the truth. The forbidden kiss between Deacon and Taylor will be more than just a romantic moment. It will be the spark that ignites a powder keg. Every character involved will face consequences, and the ripple effects will extend far beyond the immediate love triangle. Families will be torn apart, loyalties will be tested, and the safety that everyone has been trying to maintain could shatter in an instant. Next, last week's episodes gave fans front row seats to one of the most surprising romantic developments in recent Bold and the Beautiful history. Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp found themselves caught in a moment of undeniable chemistry that neither could resist any longer. After weeks of subtle glances, meaningful conversations, and an emotional connection that seemed to deepen with every interaction, the two finally acknowledged what had been brewing beneath the surface all along. In scenes that had viewers talking across social media platforms, Deacon and Taylor openly declared their love for one another, culminating in a kiss so passionate and emotionally charged that it left no doubt about the authenticity of their feelings. The chemistry between these two characters has been palpable from the moment they began spending more time together. Deacon, who has worked hard to rebuild his reputation and prove that he's changed from his troubled past, found in Taylor someone who genuinely sees the man he's become, rather than the mistakes he's made. Taylor, meanwhile, has been searching for connection and understanding after her own tumultuous journey, and Deacon's sincerity and vulnerability have touched her heart in ways she didn't anticipate. Their conversation following that first kiss was filled with raw emotion and honest admissions. Deacon made it abundantly clear that he believes they're destined to be together, that their connection isn't something that comes along every day. Taylor, visibly moved by his words and her own feelings, agreed wholeheartedly. The conviction in their voices and the intensity in their eyes told viewers everything they needed to know. This isn't a casual fling or a momentary lapse in judgment. These two have genuinely fallen for each other. The Sheila problem. Of course, no Bold and the Beautiful romance would be complete without significant obstacles, and Deacon and Taylor face one of the most dangerous impediments imaginable, Sheila Carter. Deacon's current marriage to the infamous Sheila complicates everything exponentially. During their heartfelt conversations, Deacon has repeatedly assured Taylor that he's prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice for their relationship. He's ready to leave Sheila to walk away from that marriage and commit himself fully to Taylor. The determination in Deacon's voice when he makes these promises is unmistakable. He's serious about wanting a future with Taylor, regardless of the potential consequences. However, anyone familiar with Sheila Carter knows that leaving her is never a simple or safe proposition. Sheila has a well-documented history of violent retaliation when things don't go her way, particularly when it comes to matters of the heart. The woman has committed crimes ranging from attempted murder to actual homicide, and she's shown time and again that she'll stop at nothing when she feels threatened or betrayed. Deacon is fully aware of the danger Sheila poses, which makes his desire to be with Taylor even more significant. He's willing to face Sheila's potential wrath, but he's also attempting to be strategic about how he approaches the situation. Recent episodes showed Deacon attempting to plant the seeds of divorce in Sheila's mind, trying to ease into the conversation with carefully chosen words and a gentle approach. He spoke to Sheila about how much she's changed, how she's become a better person, and how their relationship might not be what either of them truly needs moving forward. He was attempting psychological groundwork, hoping to make her consider that they might both be happier apart. Unfortunately for Deacon, his timing couldn't have been worse. As he tried to have this delicate conversation, Sheila was wielding a massive hatchet knife, using it to aggressively chop up fish in the kitchen. The visual symbolism wasn't lost on viewers or on Deacon himself. The sight of that gleaming blade in Sheila's hands as she methodically cut through flesh and bones served as a stark reminder of exactly what she's capable of when provoked. Steffy's devastating ultimatum. While Deacon was tiptoeing around the Sheila situation, Taylor decided to take a different approach by being honest with her daughter about her feelings. Taylor sat down with Steffy Forrester and laid everything out on the table. She explained that what she and Deacon share isn't something they can simply ignore or walk away from. They've developed genuine feelings for each other, and those feelings have grown into something neither of them can deny any longer. Taylor expressed her desire to pursue a relationship with Deacon, hoping her daughter would understand and perhaps even support her choice to follow her heart. Steffy's reaction was immediate and explosive, rather than showing understanding or compassion for her mother's emotional needs. Steffy went into full protective mode, but her protection came with harsh conditions attached. Steffy didn't just express disapproval or concern. She issued Taylor an ultimatum that cut straight to the heart of what matters most to any mother. Steffy made it crystal clear that if Taylor chooses to be with Deacon, there will be severe and immediate consequences for their family relationship. The words Steffy spoke were designed to strike fear into Taylor's heart. If you start seeing Deacon, I will cut you out of this family. The threat wasn't empty, and Steffi backed it up with reasoning rooted in genuine fear. She explained to Taylor that pursuing Deacon isn't just about Taylor putting herself in potential danger, though that's certainly concerning. Enough? Steffi pointed out that by being with Deacon, Taylor would be putting Steffi herself and her children, Taylor's grandchildren, at risk as well. Sheila's track record speaks for itself. When Deacon inevitably leaves Sheila for Taylor, Sheila won't simply accept defeat and move on quietly. She'll lash out, and everyone connected to Deacon or involved in the situation will become potential targets for her rage. Steffi has personal experience with Sheila's violence and vindictiveness, and she refuses to put her children in harm's way. The ultimatum was delivered with finality and conviction: choose Deacon and lose access to your family, or walk away from him and maintain your place in your daughter's and grandchildren's lives.